We are here to do your channel messages and what I see for your star sign in each month. Now, if you do like this content, remember to click the bell. And also we do have a brand new edition, which is the Romance Zone. So stay tuned for that. I will be bringing those channel messages with the tarot live by mid-month. So if you do wish this content ahead of the game, you can join a YouTube membership where I pre-release these a week ahead. Take care, and let's have a look at what I see for your zodiac sign this month. Beautiful Capricorn, welcome back. We're here to do your psychic predictions for this month and hopefully preparing you for March as well, simultaneously, because psychically I am feeling you're going to need to know. We do have 2 lands for your zodiac signs this month, both on our podcast and here at Yildiz Readings 5D at YouTube. If you do want this content ahead of the crowd, you can join the membership sign. Don't forget to check back with your romance sign, as well as we do have the Twin Flame Weekly, as well as the lives where you can join as super chats. Without further ado, let's have a look at your star sign, Capricorn, and what I psychically see coming through for you. Good grief. I bet you're happy we're moving into February. Look, you would be forgiven if you felt like a headless chook, that you were pulled in multiple directions, lost in translation, misunderstandings. Some of you also might have really internalized that and gone into hermit mode and just said, Barley's, look, I need some space. Some of your attitude towards your goals, what you're needing to do, you're going to be more clear as you do move into February. And I definitely see you there's going to be some benefits. I'm telling you, there is going to be some benefits. You're going to get a break, okay, off this tedious backbone of Mercury retrograde that we had. Now, you will be very busy. You are going to be a hot commodity. You're just going to feel like you're having a lot to do. I do especially feel you're very fixated at the moment on having confidence, maybe wanting to change some things towards your yes, your money, your wealth, your confidence, how you deal with situations. You may have been very stressed, burning the candle at both ends, but I definitely feel that metaphorical pay the ferryman is really going to reap dividends to you. So try and have faith in yourself. You will have more energy moving forward, and you're going to be very grateful over that, especially if you have felt quite burnt out. I do particularly feel a lot of you are going to have A, more energy, but definitely B, you may need to be in a very, very structured routine. Some of you could feel a little bit like a rat in a cage, especially surrounding your obligations. You could be making these direct sacrifices, and it's really teaching you something about yourself. So if you have felt that you've been doing the eat, pray, repeat to achieve a goal, and it has really irked you, try and give yourself a bit of variety, but definitely move into February with a piece of paper, writing down what you want to achieve this month so that you do address it. And you're probably going to have to do that in March. March is a whole nother ball game. We will come back and listen to that one. It's a whole new ball game. Some of it you could be picking up on, because we will have bold transformations that we have not experienced in a very long time, and they're really going to reshape our life. And that's especially relating to both your confidence and your net worth. Some of you definitely can be going up a level in society and in your life, and that freedom that you've wanted to achieve for ever so long, that's been on your shoulders, you will be able to achieve now moving ahead. Now, what else? Major themes do I see before we get into your romance sign? I would say there can be some paperwork that you need to address. There also could be something for some of you. It could be to do with inheritance. It definitely can be to do with an old situation, an old flame. We will move further into that in your romance zone. But I do see a summing up of a circumstance and really trying to create that stability in your life. I do feel you could be tying something up, but I see it in a sense of paperwork. I definitely feel that you are looking at ways that you can create more stability in your life without it being to the detriment of your health. Very separately, going over contracts and reviewing what you think is worth it. Separately, towards mid-month, I do particularly feel changes surrounding home, family, or the direct location you're living, as well as potential pregnancies. The other dynamic can be creative ideas and physical movement, and there can be an element of fun that comes through that. So be open to this, especially if you've been waiting on an outcome of a circumstance. It could be the beginning, a brand new beginning for you in a very creative process. This could be a hobby, this could be a dream come true, and achieving a goal. But I do feel it's not the end of the road. There's a brand new chapter unfolding right before you. There may be hints of it by mid-month. Now, your romance zone. This has been an interesting area for you guys. I do particularly feel your relationship, especially for those of you single, you might have been second guessing yourself. You might have been in one breath feeling very much, no, I'm not putting up with this drama. I'm so busy. Maybe I'm quite happy being single. And, you really do need, at this point, due to your schedule, due to your life, a little bit of autonomy. If you're really drowning under that, you may find that a bit of codependency comes up. But separately to that, you can find that inside your own life. You kind of want, because of your life, maybe because of your age bracket, who you are, your personality that's evolved over the years, is that what you're sort of looking for can be fun, spontaneity, but also autonomy. And so if somebody is really jealous and controlling, if you have had to be extremely independent, it just won't wash with you, especially between now and March. It may pass, though. That's one thing I can say. So it's not necessarily a full-blown demeanor that can come through, but when it does come to your routine and your structure, you do need variety. So if that has been a bit tedious and you haven't had variety in life, and what do I mean by that? Being able to have some friendship groups, being able to have a career, being able to, have a relationship, and you can't tick all those boxes, it will become very damp. It will become very tedious to you. You find ways to fit that into your life. So it's really finding something that's going to match that. You could actually meet somebody at the gym for some of you, especially if you're single. Another thing I can see is around parties and home-based activity. So it can be barbecues. It could be somebody who's renovating your house. Be open to that this month. There is a potential of some honeys coming your way. Separately, I do feel as we do proceed forward, some of that instability that you were experiencing over the last few years relating to romance and your social endeavors, I do feel it's almost like the thorn is going to be removed. And I do feel there's going to be forward momentum in that area. And it's not going to be as hard as it had been over the last 2 years, especially in your love zone. So be open to that and be quite excited. Those of you in a coupledom, I do particularly feel there could be a change in income. There might have been a situation surrounding a family situation that was quite tumultuous, and that might have been more so their side of the family. This could have been an unwell relative, somebody that transcended over. It also could be an inheritance, okay? I do see their income changing. I do see money coming in and balancing out, and this could be a brand new position with money coming in. Also feel new budgets coming into the relationship, where you're looking at some of your goals and saying, okay, we're crossing our T's and dotting our I's. What is our goal moving forward? Really heartfelt conversations as a potential. And I do feel you could feel quite burnt out. I do particularly feel you're very organised, so that may be the key. But if there is control coming in inside of the relationship, it can really cause conflict. And I do particularly feel to be extremely cautious around family over the next 2 months, because there could be some arguments. It's going to be very active. It doesn't have to be negative. So there could be some pregnancies that do come through, especially for those of you if you're struggling to fall pregnant. You may find it's a little bit easier. Some of that may still be a little bit tedious until after March, but there still is an opportunity for pregnancies. I do particularly feel your social setting and the busyness around home-related dynamics is going to be full on. So try and keep you cool. If people are getting a bit moody, try and have the patience and come from a place of love. Some of you could move home. Some of you also could be spending more money in the area of home. So especially keep an eye on that towards mid-month. Those of you relating to your image, definitely see that you have been maybe eating on the run. Some of you have actually been taking that due diligence and maybe felt sluggish, maybe become more organized and structured. This can continue on in a theme. So if that is your lifestyle and it's something that has been there for a little bit and you're trying to get back into balance, I do particularly feel a lot of you can be social this month. I would say be cautious about structuring so that we're not just getting McDonald's, and no shade on McDonald's. It's more having that balanced, diet and well-being, because I do particularly feel there could be something going on there, especially if you feel a little bit off. It's always the best method is go get it checked. When it does come to exercise, I do particularly feel between here and March, you do need to be careful of strains, concentration levels, strains, cross wires, busy schedules. And also, if you're waiting on appointments or anything to that degree, make sure that there's no crosswise and you're very aware of what things are. I do feel you're going to be more private, and I do feel some of your things you do need to keep them private this year, but particularly coming through in the next 2 months, try to keep privacy there if possible. Now, your career sector, some of you may have just stayed in a job, particularly for the fact that it was serving a purpose and you were actually going to be transitioning, saving for a house, doing something. And so there was a direct reason why potentially maybe you stayed in the eat, pray, repeat situation. I don't necessarily feel this is a bad thing, but I do particularly feel you may have done such in the interim. I do feel further into the year there could be a transition where it does come to such. Especially home-based businesses are a potential, so don't outrule that. If it was merely that you were trying to save to get a house, to get finances back on track, again, I can't advise you financially. I'm not a broker, seek a professional, read the disclaimer below. But what I can say is if that was the case, what you're going to find is by mid-year, you'll have the opportunities then to say, okay, now I can choose what I feel my niche market is, where I want to go, what I want to do. But I particularly feel there could be more opportunities there for you around that time. So if slow and steady has been winning the race, keep to it. I definitely feel you're trying to find that stability and structure. Some of you could be paying off a debt from a wealth point of view. But you also could be reviewing contracts and saying, hey, where do I want to go? How is this directly impacting me? But you'll be super proud of yourself as you move through this, because some of it is going to be alleviated by March. Career, definitely. As I mentioned, mid-year, if you've got some creative ideas, get that ball rolling. Have a look at it. Even if you are going to do the I'm working and I'm going to build my business, home-based business or something to that degree. Some of you, it could be that your accommodation actually increases in price. So your material net worth, so to speak, can increase. Definitely making sure that insurances and things to that degree are up to date between now and March, I would say. And very separately, I do see growth in that area and more coming in. But I definitely see your social energy maybe taking a bit of your time. I do feel some of the ideas that you have in mind, you may need to be structured. You can get sidetracked. You might be dealing with a lot. And so by having a routine, a structure, how to implement the projects of what you're trying to achieve, I do feel it's key. Also updating your security online for those of you with websites. And I do feel potentially growth and getting the word out really is going to come through by mid-month. Now, we'll talk about your wealth in layman's terms of this year. A kind of key point note, save this video if you need to, or the audio track. What I'm saying is the steps and the downloads you have psychically could be prepping you for mid-year. Some of the steps that you take this month could be towards, you could be changing a vehicle. You might be creating a savings plan. You could be having some information that comes towards you this month, which is going to give you some ideas and opportunities towards your future in a sense of contracts. I definitely do see career progression point blank. So if it has been flowing along at this point in time, I do feel it can be quite active. So be assertive, because I especially feel your energies of money coming in, they're going to look at you as a hot commodity, okay? Even though your career sector generally collectively for your zodiac sign is Libra. The shadow sign is Aries. And so I do particularly feel if you are aware of what you're fighting for and you're assertive, I actually feel you're going to get what you want. But, put your best foot forward. Don't be aggressive, but definitely know who you are and know what you're bringing to the table. I will check back in with you mid-month. If you do want to come and join us for your romance zone, if you do want a private booking, you can go to my website details or the link directly below. Otherwise, I will see you for those updates. Don't forget to check back. We do have weekly content here online at Yildiz Readings via YouTube. Otherwise, I'll see you soon.